What up, nerds? So you want to learn some video stuff, huh? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm so fucking psyched. Let's dive right in. Holy cow, so much time has passed since I made that intro video. Turns out making a tutorial is fucking hard. So sorry for the wait, you guys. It has been so hard to figure out what to include, and what not to include. Like, I want this to be helpful, right? I don't want to give you too much information, but then I don't want to give you enough information. But then if I don't give you enough information, it's not going to be helpful. But then if I give you too much information, then it's also not going to be helpful. And oh my fucking god. Here's how we're going to slice and dice this. This is just an introductory video, okay? If the community decides, hey, we really like this, then we can dive deeper into the three kind of intro tips I'm going to give you today. If nobody watches this and it's just, then I think I will just go die quietly in a corner and it'll be fine. But I'm hoping this will be helpful to the group at large. Okay, so I am going to focus this particular tutorial through the lens. See what I did there? Through the lens of a piece of camera gear that I know we all have, which is a smartphone. Now, I myself, I film with a variety of cameras, but I didn't want to start talking about all of that or start giving tips that were specific to different cameras if some of the people watching us don't have that camera. So to keep things kind of, inclusive to everybody, I'm going to keep this first tip within the confines of a smartphone because, again, we all have that shit. So that being said, when we're talking about filming in the outdoor context, you can do a shit ton with your phone. Don't believe me? Check this out. Okay, not bad, right? Like for just using a smartphone, I'm using the iPhone 15 specifically. Again, see, you can do a lot of shit with that. And I was completely bare bonesing that. It was literally just me, the iPhone, and the mountain. Now, normally, to help myself out, if I'm only using like one piece of camera gear, I'm gonna bring something else, which is this little tripod here. Super valuable. It can really be helpful, especially if you're filming solo in the outdoors. I'll leave the link for this thing in the description of the video, but I'm pretty sure I got it for like 20 bucks on Amazon. Right now, this has got a little GoPro mount, but if you are using a phone, you can use one of these little like phone bracket things. Wow, I'm a very qualified teacher. Now, let's kind of dive into that edit and see how something like this is done, because it isn't just as simple as grabbing your phone and hitting record. So that brings me into the sort of first tip. I feel like I've been threatening the first tip for a while. What is the first tip? Okay, so starting with tip 1. Angles. Angles. Okay, you get the hint. Fucking angles, dude. Angles give variety to your edit. If we go back and scrub through the iPhone edit that I just showed you a few seconds ago, you can see I was using a lot of different angles. I got a looking upwards, just a full frontal shot of yours truly. We had some nice panning movements. Different angles. Because when you get different angles, it's not just adding variety, but it's also bringing your audience into the adventure you're having and the landscape around you. And you can only do that by getting a variety of different angles and perspectives to really showcase the landscape. and it helps your shit not be boring. That is why having something, like this tripod is super helpful, because this is a tool that is going to allow you to get more angles a bit easier. Be prepared though. What this means is that you got to put more work into getting footage. If you want a good edit, you are going to have to put some more work into getting a variety of shots. Okay, I think that covers it for tip 1. So let's move on to tip 2. And that is sound. The first thing we can talk about is music. So music is doing a couple of things with your edit. It's setting the general tone and the feel of things, and it's also setting the pace. So how high energy or how tranquil maybe your edit is. There's a couple of things to think about when you're choosing music for your edit. The first thing I would say is you want to try to be aware of what the sort of energy of the shots that you got is before you go choosing a song. And so I think what I'm trying to get at here is you don't want to mismatch those things. So like if you have more easygoing kind of laid back footage, you're not going to put some like heavy metal song to that. That's going to be weird. Don't believe me? Here's an example. There's always something different going wrong. The path I walk's in the wrong direction. There's always someone fucking hanging on. Can anybody help me make things better? Okay. See what I mean? Like that totally took away from the experience. We went from a lovely, beautiful, gentle experience to literally wanting to put your head through a fucking wall, and not in a cool punk rock way, in a make this stop way. So you want to be very mindful. And, again, to kind of like full close on this point, here's the actual music to the edit that I just showed you. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense, right? The pace of the music is matching the pace of the action that is going on in the shot. So just be mindful of that. And then the other thing is kind of going back to tone, right? You want to choose good music for your edit, and it's hard to say that, right? Because like good music is so subjective. What I think is good music, you might think is trash. So I think the best piece of advice I could give you on this one is try to choose music that makes you feel the same feelings you felt when you were out on that adventure. A great example of this is my most recent video, Monroe Point. That was like honestly the most insane, incredible adventure I have had in the outdoors, like as of yet. So when I was assembling the edit, I knew I was like, man, I just want to capture how fucking epic that was. And so I chose this music.
Along the edge of the world, wowza. Heyo, made it to the summit! Woo!
Okay, you see what I mean? Like that was like a really just like epic feeling cinematic piece of music. And I think it really helped to not just immerse your audience, which is the sole purpose of film. Film is meant to be an immersive experience, but it also helped them feel the things, that I was feeling. And that's really what you want, that's what makes an engaging video. You gotta tug on people's heartstrings, and you do that through music, my guy. I think that is everything that you need to know. Just kidding. That's like just like a fraction, but I think for the purposes of this tip, let's move on. We're going to wrap it up with tip 3, and that is editing. You know, honestly, this could be an entire series of videos. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of information to get you started and get you noodling about this subject. But here's the deal. If you are watching my videos, you're like, hey man, that's fucking sick. Like, I want to do something like that. The reality is you're gonna have to edit, and you're gonna have to put a decent amount of time into crafting that edit. I do this through what's called a non-linear editing system. And specifically, I use DaVinci Resolve. And the great thing about it is it's free. So I can leave a link for DaVinci Resolve in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Again, it's free. Really, the only thing you need is a somewhat powerful laptop that can handle the necessary specs. But yes, non-linear editing is my go-to. And what that basically means is you're working with layers. So it gives you the ultimate amount of creative control. You can layer as many video layers as you want to do like cool special effects. The sky's the limit. And for me, that's really important. I want full creative control to craft the edit that I want. Now, you might be thinking, hey Gabby, that sounds like a nightmare and I don't want to do that. That's okay. You don't have to do this. Another option for you would be some of like the phone apps. I know that there are video editing phone apps out there in the world, and you can do that. But then just know you're going to lose a significant amount of creative control. And I don't know how much. I don't use these apps, so I'm not sure what the tech is. So feel free to explore it and find something that works for you. But if you do want the maximum creative control and you feel like diving into a new art and a new way to express yourself, I can't recommend DaVinci Resolve enough. So I think that's it, you guys. I think we can wrap up this 5,000 minute long video, and I know this was a lot, and this is just the start of the conversation, so if there are things you want me to expand on, I'm happy to do it. Drop me a comment, let me know what's on your mind, let me know what you'd like to learn more about. And until then, peace out, nerds.
Never knew